And good morning to you. That weather out there is pretty, let me see, it's pretty nice today. Hope you're doing well. We're going to have a guest in here shortly. 67 degrees. And so a high today of 88. So that's a lot better than it was yesterday, man. It was burning up. And then in the late afternoon, we had some storms. But you know, that happens sometimes. But we really need some rain. The water table is down, so that's a very positive thing. Anyway, I hope that you had a great night last night, great evening. We should be doing well on today. We're looking forward to a blessed day. Going to be having a guest in shortly. I think that you really enjoy hearing about his story. However, if you were watching the game last night, put the broom away. And that's what they get for booing the president. Karma. That's what I'm going to blame it on, Carl. It should have been booing the president. Came back to bite him. It's going to be interesting, though. So tomorrow night, if New York drops that, it's a whole new scenario now. And they go back to, if they go back to San Antonio, tied up 2-2. But it's going to be interesting, you know. I mean, they're battling it out now. So, but we'll see how all that turns out. Again, great weather out here, and also, you know, we have coming up, not this coming weekend, but next week is going to be Father's Day. And so, for all the great dads out there, I want to have some men come in, and we're going to be chatting about great fathers and, you know, being a good dad, and you know, just the whole thing of fatherhood and what fathers mean and how they deal with things. It's going to be quite interesting with that. But anyway, we look forward to that, and also whether or not in the city of Fayetteville there is a discussion about whether or not to continue with the youngsters being on a curfew. And I know I was talking to a friend of mine. He was saying, man, you know, kid ought to be home at 10 o'clock at night. I just, look, that sounds reasonable in 1965, but I'm not sure that you're going to be able to have a kid in by 10 o'clock in these times, in 21st century. What do you think? You know what I mean, I don't have any youngsters in the home now, but I'm just asking, what do you think? Because that's a stretch. I mean, to have somebody in at 10 o'clock, I would think that these youngsters would not want to be in at that time. You know, I mean, because I just don't know. There are some newer homes down the street from me, so I see some kids walking sometimes, but most of the time, the school bus comes back out, and I don't see them walking the street. But every now and then, I see some pretty young people. But, you know, I don't know about at night, but still, 10 o'clock, you expect them to be in? Doing what? I don't know, man. I don't know if 10 o'clock, coming in at 10 o'clock at night is going to work. I have my doubts about that. But again, because there are things out there that they can be doing. Now, once you get up around 11 o'clock at midnight, that's something different. But 10 o'clock, it sounds reasonable for a middle schooler, but for a teenager, I'm not sure that's going to work. I'm just not sure that's going to work. But understand the way this whole curfew thing works, it's going to focus in on the parents, and they're the ones that's going to have to be accountable, and certainly they're going to have to hold these youngsters' feet to the fire so that they can continue to do what they need to do. But, you know, I don't know. But I feel for parenting now. Anybody has to parent now because they got so many things that they got to compete with. You know, you got social media, you got these games, you got all different kinds of devices and things that expose youngsters to things that at one time in their life they would not be exposed to. So that's the critical part of everything I have going on that. And so let me see here. Yeah. So I know that we are having some technical difficulties on the FM signal. hang in there. We're working on that, getting that squared away, and so we're looking forward to that being worked out. So, but anyway, appreciate you so much there. This young man should be in here shortly, and we'll have a robust discussion about some things. Looks like it's going to be rain for the rest of the week. Tomorrow it would be a 60% chance, Thursday 65, Friday 48, Sunday 50, all the way through into next week, which sounds good, you know what I mean? Up until next Wednesday, should get some rain every day. And so, you know, you want to put some stuff down and on your grass and stuff like that, because I know it's been kind of a hot piece of weather there. So that's what we're going at. But anyway, we're approaching a break here, and so we'll go to a break soon, and then we'll come back with our guests, but about 15 minutes after the hour here, 16 minutes after the hour. So that's what we have, and we're looking forward to having Brother Kelsey Battle in with us now. We're just on the phone with him, so we're good. But look, I can't wait until tomorrow night, see what happens with this game. So that's what we have there, Reverend Carl. Well, Reverend Carl, can we go to a break? And let me break now, and we're going to go to a break and come back, and hopefully our guests should be in at that time. I appreciate you all, but listening to 1600 AM, WIDU, 99.7 FM. We'll be back for more following this.
Questions are being raised about the role the North Carolina State Auditor's Office played in a debate over where an early voting site should be located in Cullowhee for the upcoming general election. According to public meeting minutes from the June 2nd Jackson County Board of Elections meeting, Board Chair Bill Thompson cited pressure from the Auditor's Office to keep an early voting site at the Cullowhee Recreation Center over one at Western Carolina University. A U.S. Army helicopter has crashed near the Strait of Hormuz, but President Donald Trump says 2 crew members were not injured. The North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation has announced it captured 2 escaped Vance County inmates who disappeared nearly a week ago. Red flags are flying across the Crystal Coast and the Outer Banks as warm weather brought locals and vacationers to the shore. However, a high rip current risk prompted warnings for swimmers. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The Spanish Language Serve Safe Manager course hosted by the Cumberland County Department of Public Health has been postponed to allow more participants the chance to register. The updated course will now be held July 14th, 16th, 21st, and 23rd from 2 until 6 p.m. July 6th is the registration deadline. That course helps food service professionals learn how to prevent foodborne illness, improve food safety practices, and better prepare for health inspections. Your voice matters in shaping Cumberland County's future. The Board of Commissioners will continue discussions on the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget during upcoming budget work sessions. The next is today at 3 p.m., then June 11th at 5:30 p.m., and June 18th at 2:30 p.m. if needed. Stay informed, follow discussions as the board works to finalize the budget by attending a meeting or by watching the meetings on their YouTube channel or CCN-CTV Spectrum Channel 5. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
A shift in the wind direction out of the east and northeast. That's going to keep us not quite as hot as recent days. It's a partly to mostly cloudy sky for your Tuesday, and high temperatures ranging between the middle and upper 80s across the board. Overnight, it's partly cloudy with low temperatures about 70 to 72. Shower chances today are very slim. Some hit or miss storms possible late in the afternoon Wednesday. Highs 90 to 92 degrees. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN Weather Center.
Hey, you looking for your next car? Start at Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville. At Bryan Honda, we make buying a car simple, stress-free, and affordable. Whether you're searching for a brand new Honda or a quality pre-owned vehicle, we've got a huge selection to fit every lifestyle and every budget. From fuel-efficient Civics and Accords to family-friendly CRVs and Pilots, Bryan Honda has the perfect vehicle waiting for you, and with our friendly, knowledgeable sales team, you'll never feel pressured. Need financing? No problem. Bryan Honda works with multiple lenders to get you approved fast with competitive rates that make sense for you. Plus, our certified service department is here long after the sale, keeping your Honda running strong for years to come. Drive smarter, drive happier, and drive home today from Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville, or you can visit online, bryanhonda.com. Your road starts here. Nobody beats a Bryan Honda deal. Not now, not ever.
Whether you're new to gardening or have years of experience, the Cumberland County Cooperative Extension is here to help. Learn new skills through programs like Better Living, connect with the community through the Master Gardeners Volunteer Program, or explore opportunities for young people through 4-H youth development. The Cumberland County Cooperative Extension offers programs for all ages. To learn more, visit North Carolina State Extension online at ncsu.edu or call 910-321-6882.
Your Tuesday forecast, not quite as hot as recent days. A shift in the wind out of the east and northeast will still keep things warm. It's just not going to be in the 90s. Most of us mid to upper 80s this afternoon under a partly to mostly cloudy sky and maybe a stray shower. Overnight, partly cloudy and mild. Temperatures about 70 to 72. Then we're 90 to 92 Wednesday afternoon. A few hit or miss storms will be possible late afternoon into the evening. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN Weather Center.
Are you looking for an opportunity to serve the community? Become a part of the decision-making in the City of Fayetteville government and apply to fill an upcoming vacancy on our boards and commissions. You can apply now through January 31st by visiting fayetteville.nc.gov/boards. Click on the red Apply button found in the middle of the page. Boards and commissions are a great way for residents to engage in their community and help build a greater Fayetteville.
It's time again for your conference, CCFM Conference 2026, Wednesday, June 24th through Saturday, June 27th at the Florence Center, Florence, South Carolina. We will welcome Apostle Joshua Giles, Pastor T. Renee Glenn, Dr. Darius Daniels, Pastor John F. Hanna, Bishop Melvin Lambert, Bishop Bobby Hilton, and our psalmists, Pastor Smokey Norfolk, Pastor Wendy Wyatt, Pastor Naomi Rain, Pastor Lillian Lloyd. Yes, this is your conference. CCFM Conference 2026 at the Florence Center. Admission is free, but registration has major advantages. For more information, go to ccfmnation.org, ccfmnation.org. You don't want to miss the King's Summit CCFM Conference 2026, June 24th through the 27th. Come hungry for God's presence.
It's one of life's simplest comforts. Turning on the tap and knowing clean, safe water's there. A glass before bed, a warm shower in the morning, water to cook, clean, and care for loved ones. So often, it's something that can be taken for granted. But behind every drop is a commitment to quality, safety, and service. At Fayetteville PWC, providing award-winning water is more than a service. It is a responsibility and a point of pride. Delivering clean, reliable water remains a top priority for Fayetteville and surrounding communities every single day, because clean water supports healthy families, strengthens neighborhoods, and helps communities thrive today and for generations to come. Discover more about the difference quality water makes at faypwc.com. Fayetteville PWC, always there, always on, always built to serve.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The Spanish Language Serve Safe Manager course hosted by the Cumberland County Department of Public Health has been postponed to allow more participants the chance to register. The updated course will now be held July 14th, 16th, 21st, and 23rd from 2 until 6 p.m. July 6th is the registration deadline. That course helps food service professionals learn how to prevent foodborne illness, improve food safety practices, and better prepare for health inspections. Your voice matters in shaping Cumberland County's future. The Board of Commissioners will continue discussions on the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget during upcoming budget work sessions. The next is today at 3 p.m., then June 11th at 5:30 p.m., and June 18th at 2:30 p.m. if needed. Stay informed, follow discussions as the board works to finalize the budget by attending a meeting or by watching the meetings on their YouTube channel or CCNC TV Spectrum Channel 5. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
A shift in the wind direction out of the east and northeast. That's going to keep us not quite as hot as recent days. It's a partly to mostly cloudy sky for your Tuesday and high temperatures ranging between the middle and upper 80s across the board. Overnight, it's partly cloudy with low temperatures about 70 to 72. Shower chances today are very slim. Some hit or miss storms possible late in the afternoon Wednesday. Highs 90 to 92 degrees. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN Weather Center.
This edition of your local news and weather is brought to you by Fayetteville PWC. Pastor Teresa McAllister and Rafa Ministries Family Center welcome you to our 2026 Family Summit this summer, Saturday, August 8th at Cliffdale Recreation Center from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. with lunch served. The theme this year? Choose life. And we're offering our fam talks to support you in every area of life. Leaders, vendors, community professionals will be presenting from topics such as mental health, physical, financial, spiritual, and relational health. In addition, our Summer Camp Kids Choir will be featured as our performing artist. It's going to be an amazing event for the whole family. Text 843-209-6848 for more information. Or if you'd like to attend, or even to consider becoming a sponsor. Again, text 843-209-6848 for more information. Hope to see you there.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The Spanish Language Serve Safe Manager course hosted by the Cumberland County Department of Public Health has been postponed to allow more participants the chance to register. The updated course will now be held July 14th, 16th, 21st, and 23rd from 2 until 6 p.m. July 6th is the registration deadline. That course helps food service professionals learn how to prevent foodborne illness, improve food safety practices, and better prepare for health inspections. Your voice matters in shaping Cumberland County's future. The Board of Commissioners will continue discussions on the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget during upcoming budget work sessions. The next is today at 3 p.m., then June 11th at 5:30 p.m., and June 18th at 2:30 p.m. if needed. Stay informed, follow discussions as the board works to finalize the budget by attending a meeting or by watching the meetings on their YouTube channel or CCNC TV Spectrum Channel 5. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
Your Tuesday forecast, not quite as hot as recent days. A shift in the wind out of the east and northeast will still keep things warm. It's just not going to be in the 90s. Most of us mid to upper 80s this afternoon under a partly to mostly cloudy sky and maybe a stray shower. Overnight, partly cloudy and mild. Temperatures about 70 to 72. Then we're 90 to 92 Wednesday afternoon. A few hit-or-miss storms will be possible late afternoon into the evening. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN Weather Center.
Hey, you looking for your next car? Start at Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville. At Bryan Honda, we make buying a car simple, stress-free, and affordable. Whether you're searching for a brand new Honda or a quality pre-owned vehicle, we've got a huge selection to fit every lifestyle and every budget. From fuel-efficient Civics and Accords to family-friendly CRVs and Pilots, Bryan Honda has the perfect vehicle waiting for you, and with our friendly, knowledgeable sales team, you'll never feel pressured. Need financing? No problem. Bryan Honda works with multiple lenders to get you approved fast with competitive rates that make sense for you. Plus, our certified service department is here long after the sale, keeping your Honda running strong for years to come. Drive smarter, drive happier, and drive home today from Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville, or you can visit online, BryanHonda.com. Your road starts here. Nobody beats a Bryan Honda deal. Not now, not ever.
Looking for a fun challenge this summer? Join the Cumberland County Public Library for the Unearth a Story Summer Reading Challenge, happening through July 31st. Read great books, discover new stories, and earn rewards along the way. Participants can win prizes and will be entered into a grand prize drawing. The Summer Reading Challenge is open to all ages. To learn more, visit cumberlandcountync.gov/library or follow CCPLNC on social media.
Hello, I'm Eric Hurley with the Police Department Traffic Unit. We don't write tickets to raise money, we write tickets to change behavior. Speed was the primary factor in more than 60% of the 28 fatal crashes we investigated last year. Every stop we make might be the one that prevents the next death. I'd rather give you a citation than tell your loved one you're never coming home.
I'm Detective Deal with the Fayetteville Police Department's Traffic Unit. As a crash reconstructionist, I don't guess what happened, I prove it. We measure, photograph, and digitally rebuild each fatal scene millisecond by millisecond. Speed is the most common factor we find in deadly crashes. I've seen cars split in half just because someone was in a hurry. These aren't freak accidents, they're choices, and every choice has a consequence.
If you see blue lights in 2026, expect a citation.
If we see this scene again, someone didn't listen. Your speed, your choice, your consequence.
Speed kills, respect the limit.
It's time again for your conference, CCFM Conference 2026, Wednesday, June 24th through Saturday, June 27th at the Florence Center, Florence, South Carolina. We will welcome Apostle Joshua Giles, Pastor T. Renee Glenn, Dr. Darius Daniels, Pastor John F. Hanna, Bishop Melvin Lambert, Bishop Bobby Hilton, and our psalmists, Pastor Smokey Norfolk, Pastor Wendy Wyatt, Pastor Naomi Rain, Pastor Lillian Lloyd. Yes, this is your conference. CCFM Conference 2026 at the Florence Center. Admission is free, but registration has major advantages. For more information, go to ccfmnation.org, ccfmnation.org. You don't want to miss the King's Summit CCFM Conference 2026, June 24th through the 27th. Come hungry for God's presence.
Looking for ways to save energy and learn more about your utility services? Join Fayetteville PWC at the Free Power and Water Conservation Expo Friday, June 26th from 11 until 3 at Bordeaux Public Library. Stop by anytime for energy-saving tips, giveaways, and to meet PWC experts. Don't miss it. Visit faypwc.com for details.
Yeah, we're back now. My guest is from Rayford, and he got caught in a traffic jam on 295. I understand how that works. I was just coming from Ramsey Street one time, and I got on, and I was going to get off at the Murchison exit, and I got caught up in the middle of that, and I couldn't get out of it until whatever released the traffic. So Pastor McAllister was asking me about the game last night. He said, well, you know, didn't this guy, wasn't that a flagrant foul? I said, it all depends. If you are a Knicks fan, it was, but if you for San Antonio, it doesn't matter.
But that was wrong still. I mean, he hit this man hard. He could have taken him out of the game.
Oh, I thought he pushed him and hit him. He pushed him, didn't he?
Well, it was. He put him on the floor.
But it's a grown man's sport, so you know he got over it.
Yeah, I heard Shaq comments behind it. Oh, that he was kind of like for like if you look, man, get out of the way.
Back in the day,
I know it's a man's game.
How they used to do Michael?
Now there either we're gonna have rules or we're not. Talk to me.
Like I said, I didn't want the Knicks to win anyway, so I don't care. You're talking to the.
Let's come out there with shotguns the next time.
Excuse me, Rev. You're sending your complaint to the wrong address. Okay.
Talking to the wrong audience. No sympathy.
Not Detroit. If you send it in Detroit, you send it to the wrong address. I don't care.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because I don't want them to win anyway.
Okay. I'm just checking out. Well,
I know, but I'm just saying.
It didn't do because they was two games ahead or nothing like that. I mean, it has nothing to do with that, does it?
I mean, hey, what can I say? Look, and I hope they lose tomorrow night too.
Yeah. Well.
And if somebody needs to get pushed down to do it.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, so there's a way to win. That's what you're saying. There's a way to win. So when I want something, it takes all rules out.
No, just in sports.
Just sports. It's sports. Yeah,
I mean,
it is sports. I agree. It is sports. But it was a good game. They really riled up behind that one though, and kind of got a few points ahead. That's when they first took the lead.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. But that's how it works, though. That's how it works out. Look, we ain't playing musical chairs, man, anyway.
Sorry for the tardiness.
No, you good, buddy. You good. I was telling the audience, you know, I got trapped on 295, too. I know, well, any of these interstates, I was just going to Dunn one day, and I got caught in an accident, and, you know, you can't get out. If you can't find an exit to get to, that's how it works. But look, we're going to bring you back again, but look, we can chat a little bit. So let's go back from the beginning. You were, I met you, I don't know if you remember I met you at Fayetteville State.
Yeah, homecoming.
A homecoming.
Yes, sir.
And we were standing in line getting ready to buy, I was trying to buy a fish sandwich. I don't know what you was buying.
Same thing.
Right. And we were rubbing each other about our branches of military service. I was Air Force and you were Army.
Correct.
And then you started to tell me your story, and I got quite interested in that. Matter of fact, I wrote a column about it for the Federal Observer, and it turned out to be the most read column for the entire year.
Yes, and it was at the end of the year.
Yeah, the end of the year, right. So that was, but look, let's go back and talk a little bit about you. You grew up here in Fayetteville.
I did. I grew up in Chestnut, Montclair Elementary, and graduated from 71st in 1990.
So did you live in the Montclair subdivision?
I sure did.
Okay, so you lived in the Montclair subdivision. And those listening, tuning in, Kelsey, this is your first name, right?
Yep, Kelsey Battle.
Yeah, Kelsey Battle. And Brother Battle, but something interesting happened to you while you were in public schools, because you shared with me your report cards.
Yes, I did.
So you got passed every year.
Every year.
And you start off in which school?
Montclair Elementary.
Montclair Elementary.
And Chestnut.
And Chestnut.
Graduated from 71st High School.
Right, and you graduated from 71st High School. But through all of that, you still could not read.
I still could not read, write, or spell.
Right, so you could not read, write, or spell, and you went through all of that.
Yep.
From what I remember in talking to you before, what happened, though, was you were a nice guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so the teachers liked you.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Right, that's right. And you got, I guess I would call it social promotion.
That is what I got. Just showing up every day, showing up to eat, going to school, just enjoying life, not knowing what life had to offer. I just was a good, studious gentleman. I was a good kid.
And you played sports as well.
I played sports. I played football and baseball. Played rec. Through my youth, I always played sports, but my sports was baseball and football. 71st.
Right. Fast forward. So now you graduate, and you're thinking about your future, and you decide to join the Army.
I went to MEPS in Raleigh, and my physical I passed. I was in great shape, but my scores on my ASVAB was so low. He told me, I'm gonna take you back to Fayetteville because your score's too low. I can't give you a job.
Right. So he actually questioned whether or not you had graduated from high school.
He said, because you had to take your diploma.
Correct.
So I
right.
took my diploma, showed him my diploma, and he asked me, who diploma is this? I said, it's mine. He said, how'd you graduate? Can you read, write, and spell? Because your scores are so low, we can't even give you a job. I got in on a waiver because it was the Gulf War. And it was, if you had a criminal record, you get a waiver. If you had a GED, you got in, or if you had a high school diploma, but your scores was low. So my scores were so low, I got in on a waiver based on, the war, the Gulf War, and I just got in on a waiver.
Okay, so you get in, and you have one of those little green Testament Bibles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes,
right. So, but you can't read or write.
Nope.
But you go to the Lord.
That's right.
And ask God to help you.
I said, God, I need to learn how to read and write. When you go to MEPS, they give you this green little Bible, and
right.
you need some paperwork. You get on the plane and you go to your duty station. At basic training, you was either writing a letter or reading.
Right.
So I used to read the Bible. I don't know what I was reading, one day I said, God, I need to learn how to read, So I started just reading these words, and I didn't know how to pronounce them or anything. I just was just trying to, educate myself until I went to Germany. I left basic training, went to Germany, and my first son was a Mexican. And he told me he walked. I said, first son, what made you help me? He made me his driver. When he found out I couldn't read and write when I first got there, I couldn't even do my processing paperwork. They had to help me, your emergency contact paperwork. First son helped me fill that out, and he asked me, he said, why you can't read and write? I said, my mom's been on drugs pretty much my whole life. They passed me through school. Later, I asked him, I said, first son, what made you help me? He said he walked from Mexico with his parents, and he grew it out of a father, even though he came with his father and his mother and his brother. His dad used to drive the big lawnmowers on the highway that cut the road and the road over and killed his father.
Oh,
so he grew up without his father. He only had 4 daughters. He was married, and he never had a son. So he said he seen something in me. He wanted to help me. And my first son, who was a Mexican who walked from Mexico, when I was in Germany, my first duty station, he taught me to read.
Right.
I drove for him for 2 years.
So you were successful in the military, though. After learning how to read and write, you went on to what? To be an
E4.
E4, okay.
Yeah, I was an E4. And then, but fast tracking that, when I came back from Germany, I met my wife. I wanted to raise my GT score. And be honest with you, I was still struggling academically. So I went to a fast class on Fort Bragg. They help you raise your GT score. My wife helped me. I would come home every day and go over the material. I ended up raising my GT score, I was a 13 Bravo. I drove tanks initially. Then I raised my GT score, became a supply sergeant. And my wife was very educated. Graduated high school at 16, went to law school at 18 at Campbell University.
Right.
So just being around her propelled me to want to go to school, and I ended up to get my degree in psychology at Liberty University.
Okay, right. Well, so then you get out of the military, and you have this this goal, this mission, and you have on your cap today that says "I can."
Oh yeah.
Tell us the "I can" story.
So I was in the supply room. I'm E6 promotable, going up for make E7, and I was in the supply room, me and the soldiers, and the Columbine school shooting came on. It was a tragic school shooting, one of the first major school shootings, and I was like, wow, these kids out here shooting each other. I turned to another channel. I was watching Billy Graham. He was a minister. He was preaching, I can do all things through Christ, Philippians 4:13.
Right.
And I turned to the soldiers. I said, if those kids knew I can, like Nike, something that they can relate to every day. And then God put it on my heart to get out of the military to start a clothing company called I Can. I went home, told my wife, she said, did you re-enlist today? I said, no, I didn't re-enlist. She said, why not? I said, God told me to get out of the Army and start a clothing company. We only had 2 kids at the time. We got 5 now. She put my son down and said, and she was on the couch, said, how are we going to pay our bills? I said, God told me don't worry about that. So I got out of the military in 2001, and I started the I Can clothing company.
So you started the I Can clothing line, and you eventually you have 5 children.
Correct.
So track us through that.
During me starting the clothing company, my own group, I was an at-risk youth. You know,
Okay.
parents on drugs, and my wife was at-risk youth. Her parents was on drugs too, and we met. Her parents was on drugs, and that was like a trauma bonding. We both could relate to that. So she wanted to open up group homes, so we opened up group homes. We got into 3 group homes in Fayetteville, Spring Lake, and Hope County, and we was working with youth in our group homes, and I was doing the I Can clothes, and I just kept designing and building, going to different trade shows, going to different department stores. And then the internet evolved, selling on the internet, and through the years from 1999 when I started to the current time, I made my way into some stores where I'm launching into the Department of the Navy, and AFES and Walmart.
Right. So the Department of Navy selling I Can products.
Correct.
Your clothing line, and AFES, which they service
The Army.
the Army military stores.
And now I'm getting ready to do a contract with Walmart.
Right. So that's incredible.
So during that journey, though, you know, you gotta go. You know, God positioned you to be successful on His time.
Right.
So me just working hard, understanding business, and investing in my business, and investing in, you know, my craft to design clothes. Never been to the design clothes. A lot of other companies asked me to design for them, so I was just doing that, designing for other companies. But my main objective was to build the I Can brand out, to inspire people, encourage people with, you know, I can achieve now. So it's just athleisure wear, hoodies, t-shirts, tracksuits, caps, hats. So it's just athleisure wear to inspire people.
Right. Well, look, you know, well, you've been successful. I mean, you think about now you're poised.
Oh, yeah.
The Navy has a contract with you, AFES, and you're in the Walmart. And that's pretty phenomenal, man. So how you sharing this with other young people that may aspire to be something beyond average?
You know, when I go to these meetings with these department stores, if you name a department store, I had a meeting with belts. I'm getting ready to do a contract on belts. We just reviewing the contract. When I go to these meetings with these department stores and these large corporations, and you meeting these people that make major decisions that affect the whole world with what you're putting in their stores. And I tell them my story of how I couldn't read and write, how I persevered, married 31 years, 5 kids, working with at-risk youth because I was an at-risk youth. You know, I kind of tell them I really don't do this for the money. I'm more focused on the journey, and I know the money will come. But for the most part, I tell them I don't sell clothes. And they say, what do you mean? I say, I sell a message. Because you can get a hoodie, you can get a t-shirt, you can get Nike, you can get any brand you want, but we sell a message, I Can. There's nothing you can't do without God. So we try to empower them with the brand of I Can. There's nothing you can't do. Nothing.
Right. So we talked to Kelsey Battle, grew up here in Fayetteville off of Rayford Road in Montclair.
Yes, sir.
And has an incredible story. Nice guy, but went all the way through the public school system, not knowing how to read or write, but still he got positioned, and God put the people in his life to help him to advance and to advance himself, and met this incredible wife who was going to law school at Campbell University. So you married well, son.
Oh yeah, I did. You know, I'm gonna tell you a story too. Now that I got a platform with the brand, I go out and I speak. I'm a public speaker. I get paid to go out and speak to schools, professional development. I speak to teachers. I speak to adults. And one of the things that hasn't changed is academically, these kids are still struggling. When I go to the schools and I speak, and kids come up to me at the end, they ask me any questions. They ask me, I can't read and write, or they might be ready to graduate. They're in the same position that I am in just when I was in school. So I just really encourage people, no matter what position you're in, your start is not your finish. You got to persevere and push through and rely on God. And, you know, there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing you can't do.
So just personal question. So when you look back and you went through all of that, you weren't able to read or write. I mean, how do you analyze that? I mean, and like you talk about, there's still some youngsters that where you are now. I mean, what are we doing as a society? We're actually failing you, aren't we? When you go through all of that and you can't read or write, aren't we responsible for that?
Let me, and you know, because I do training, I do training on professional development, and I understand the desire has to be there, but in this culture, in this generation, we train and raise our kids to be dependable, not independent. When I grew up, I know when you grew up, we was taught to be independent. When you get out of high school, you're gonna get a job, you're gonna get a trade, you're gonna go to college. Now we give these kids everything they need. They don't have to work as hard. So the desire to be successful is not there like we had the desire, because we take care of everything. Everything is basically handed to you. So that your desire to be successful has to be in you. Even for me, not knowing how to read and write and looking around, everyone was still doing wrong. They was doing good. Some people was unsuccessful. Some people successful. It was my desire. I told God, I want to be great. I want the things I wanted. God, I went to God. I prayed about it. Literally, I manifested. I prayed. Even at a young age, I just had the desire to want better and to do better. And I positioned myself. And the Spirit will drive you there. If you position yourself to want better, your brain will think on the better level. If you want to drive yourself to do wrong, you would think of wrong things to do. It's just a desire. You got to ask God. For me, I really, at a young age, got baptized at 10 years old, not understanding Christ, but I positioned myself and my desires and spiritually to do better.
So I'm thinking, though, you know, when you're in school there, and even youngsters now that cannot perform, and the teacher's still giving you a passing grade.
Yes.
That can't be right, can it?
No, it can't. And then the thing about it is, too, the teachers fall into something called compassion fatigue.
Okay.
Compassion fatigue is when you want to help the person more than they helping themselves. And you're just out of compassion, you want to see people succeed, and you want to see people make it in life, regardless of where they're from. Even in radio and TV and sports, you end up working harder than the person who you're trying to help. And the compassion to help them be successful, you'll just give them a good grade. They're a good person. And you, instead of helping them work harder or putting them in the position to work hard and learn, the compassion to see them succeed, you'll just make it easy for them.
Yeah. Well, you know, you went through high school, but I noticed one, I can't think of the guy's name now, but he played defense for the Washington Redskins, and he couldn't read and write, but he went through college. I can't, I mean, you know.
His name starts with an M. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, but
Dexter Manley.
Yeah, that's right. Because, you know, and his wife didn't know, because what he would do was they'd go out to dinner, and he'd say, baby, you know, you order for me, da-da-da-da. And so he, you know, he managed to get that far. And now he's in the NFL, can't read or write. And, of course, eventually all that came out. But he went all the way through college. I think he was at Kansas State, one of them Midwestern schools. And, but, you know, I just feel like, though, that, and I'm putting the onus on all of us as adults, that shouldn't happen. It shouldn't have to be that way. No. Now, at home for you, because you didn't have the supervision of an adult over you. You basically, as a kid, had to become an adult.
Correct. And I was the youngest of 5.
Right. And so you out here working jobs and stuff like that. I won't call it a hustle, but you had to make your own way.
Cutting grass, breaking people's yards. You know, when I was able to go to work, when I was 15, 16 at Bojangles, worked at Luigi's. So, yeah, I was really, me and my brothers and sisters taking care of ourselves, but for the most part, you're right. When you're being able to pass along and people just handing you your grades and you graduate, the next step, honestly, is crime, because you can't get a job, you're uneducated. The military actually saved my life. if I did not join the military, how was I gonna get a job? I couldn't read or write or spell. I was literally, when people say, how do you know you was on the first grade reading level? When you do the end of the grade testing called the CAT scores or the EOG,
right?
All my scores are always in the 1s and 2s. I never got to third grade level on my EOGs, and if you look at my report card, you put it in the newspaper. I said, if we do the story, I want to put my report card in the newspaper. I didn't graduate with enough credits. I played sports, so all my teachers that was over the sports I played, I had great 90s. PE, I had 100, but all my other grades, in my 10th grade year, every grade I got in the first semester for every class was the same grade in the second semester. So if I got a 70 first semester in math, I got a 70 in second semester. Every class had the same grade. In the end of the grade, all my grades was the same. For the
Just
whole
enough
year.
to pass.
For the whole year.
Right.
I didn't pass English. 11th grade English, I failed. 10th grade English, I failed. And I was out resources. Me and the other kids, they would come get us, and we'd be in English, and they'll come take us out for resources to go teach you how to read and, extracurricular activity. But it just, for some reason, it just didn't click for me, and I ended up graduating on a second grade reading level.
But you walked across the stage.
I walked across the stage in my diploma.
In the cap and gown.
In the cap and gown. And the thing about that is, as a child, you really don't know, or you really can't distinguish how far you are behind. You know you're struggling, but in society, to go out in the real world, you really don't know how far you're behind till you get out there. Because I had no skills, no trade skills, or I had no reading, or academic, no education skills.
Well, the Lord has blessed you because now, you're a successful entrepreneur. You're a dad. You had a bunch of your youngsters in college at one time. How many?
Yeah. I had 5 kids.
Okay.
All 5 of them went to college, and I have 2 left. My 19-year-old, I got 1 left. I just had a daughter just graduate North Carolina State. She double majored. Let me tell you how successful she is. She double majored in computer and electrical engineering at one time, 2 degrees, and it's only 1% of people in the United States who graduate with and she's a female, and she graduated with 2 engineering degrees, and she got a job making 6 figures right out of college.
I can imagine.
Today is her first day actually starting her job. She moved away, but all my kids went to college, and to the education piece.
Right.
You have to be in tune to your children to help them and guide them academically. Even if they don't get a degree, they need to get a trade. So we have to guide these children along the way because they don't know what they don't know. The thing about it is everybody needs help. Everybody. You, me, everybody needs help. But you can't help everybody. You need to find the people that can help them.
Right.
So academically, it was a setback for me. It willed me to be who I am today, where I'm getting ready to sell to like major department stores. Like Walmart is the biggest company in the world. The biggest company in the world, Walmart, right? They have the most employees in the world. A person at 19 years old who could not read, write, or spell is doing business with the biggest company in the world.
Right. Well, look, man, I feel blessed that you and I bumped into each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Standing there at Fayetteville Steaks Homecoming, in line trying to get a fish sandwich.
I know, right? I know that's right.
That was a blessing. That was a blessing.
God put you in the right place at the right time.
That's true, man. It was a blessing for me to meet you, man. I'm telling you, it's just incredible story you have, and we will continue this journey. Going to bring you back, and we're going to chat some more. And but the last 2 minutes, I give that to you. Mm-hmm.
I do want to say one thing. People come into your life for different reasons, and I can truly say, Troy, I owe you a thank you and a praise for you seeing something in me, because the story you did on me in November, I want to say it was in 93 or 94, the story you did on me, it changed my life. It positioned me to be seen. You doing that article, it was seen all over the world. That story was done in November. It was the most read story for the whole year, and it was printed in November. And people from all over the world was contacting me telling me how inspiring that story was, and they was just so grateful that I never gave up on myself. It changed my life that other newspaper articles and publications wanted to do a story on me just by you seeing something in me in Fayetteville at Fayetteville State Homecoming, doing a story on me, put me in the newspaper, that I was able to be seen worldwide. That I ended up being published in the International Business and News as a disabled Army veteran who couldn't read and write, and now successful. I own a construction company, a multi-million-dollar construction company. Me and my wife, we own a foster care agency. I own 16 houses, and I own the clothing company. But that, you investing your time in me, changed my whole life.
Well, Brother Battle, thank
And
you
I
so
appreciate
much.
you for that.
But look, man, you touched my heart, brother. I mean, like I said, when I first met you, it was just an instant connection, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, you taught me 5 minutes, and I said, this story needs to be told. And so I just thank God that He allowed us to come together. And
Absolutely.
look, we will continue on, and certainly we out of here now. But anyway, thank you, brother. Look, we're gonna bring you back on, man, because look, I want the folk that are listening, give them a quick number that they can call you at, because I know somebody wants you to come to their church and talk to their kids. Okay.
If you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at 910-670-1494, or my email is Kelsey, KELSEY at ICANCLOES.com, and my website is icanclose.com, and we'll be launching into Department of the Navy July 1st. I'm celebrating the 250-year anniversary of America.
All right. Keep hope alive. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Brother Ballard. Look, we out of here. Y'all have a great rest of